Hey, what's up, guys? Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. Today, I'm taking a look at one of my favorite retro toy lines from the 80s, Starcom, and the evil Shadow Raider vehicle. Now, Starcom is one of those toy lines that might seem forgotten to some, but I can assure you that there's parts of the world where the demand for the franchise is still thriving until today. Now, the toys were backed by an animated series that lasted only a single season and 13 episodes. But let me tell you guys, you know what? The toy line went way beyond that. I mean, there were so many different figures, vehicles, playsets, micro sets produced that completing the series as a collector is not an easy task, especially since the later wave of toys are really rare and hard to find these days. Now, I've heard a lot about the fact that the Starcom line failed in the United States. Now, this also struck me as a little strange because the main tagline for the series read the US Space Force, and NASA launched the space program in the United States. And also, most kids in the 80s dreamt of being astronauts. So, what's the deal? Anyway, the toys were a success in most other markets, especially in Asia, and especially right here in Malaysia and our neighboring country, Singapore. I mean, we even have our own Facebook group dedicated to the passion of Starcom toy collecting. And I do believe that demand from both these countries have kept the line going strong on the secondary market over the last 10 to 15 years. You know, ever since all of us 80s kids grew up, got our credit cards, and got onto eBay. Starcom is memorable for the usage of magnets on their action figures and vehicles that allowed the figures and vehicles to interact together with any of their toy systems. Now, this was a technology that the series has called Magnalock. This was pretty innovative for the time, but the real showstopper here was their power deploy feature, which was a function that most of their vehicles had, where upon pressing a button, it would cause parts of the vehicle to move and open up and reveal secret compartments and weapons. This movement was accompanied by a sound that no 80s kid would be able to forget. It's that zzz sound that went along with the movement of parts. Now, this was all achieved through some kind of intricate clockwork mechanism within the toys, which did not require batteries. And that was the part that made it seem like magic to us as kids. Hell, you know what? It still seems magical. Okay, in the spotlight today, as I mentioned, is the Shadow Raider, part of the evil Shadow Force that seeks to stop the Starcom heroes. There's something about the front of this vehicle that looks like a shark's head, with the lasers as eyes. Anyone else see a shark? Now, the design of this tank just appeals to me, because it just looks compact and tough. Now, some of the weapons are out in the open, and there are some that are hidden as well for a surprise attack. This futuristic tank design also reminds me of something from the G.I. Joe toy line, especially in the later half of the series where the line went kind of insane and went into space and stuff, and they were like aliens too, I think. Yeah, that was pretty unforgettable. Now, the bottom of the vehicle has sets of plastic tires. These are just basically rounded plastic wheels that you push along. It would be better if these were rubber, but what can you do? At the bottom, you see the manufacturer's stamp, Coleco. Actually, while Coleco did launch the toys, the line was later taken over by Mattel for international distribution. I've got this thing upside down. Let me just flip it. Yeah, so, it says here, Coleco, made in Macau. How about that? Okay, so you know what? This is just a really great vehicle design. And if you like space combat machines, the Shadow Raider would fit nicely into your collection. Okay, and now it's time for the moment that I trust everyone's been waiting for. Checking out the power deploy feature. Okay, so the Shadow Raider features two halves of the tank that can be separated apart at the touch of a button. This button right here. So, let's get down to it, shall we? See that? It's just amazing, man. Okay, so you get this hidden gun turret section that just pops up, and it features a set of cannons that can be rotated about. Look at that, man. Let's do it again. Just magic, man. Some of the evil enemy vehicles are piloted by robotic sentries, like this guy here. And the amazing thing about Starcom is that they featured really tiny figures that had so much detail stuffed into them. Now, these aren't just pieces of plastic slapped together, a head here, an arm there. These are real works of art. So there is a cool cockpit area that opens up at the press of a button, and you can basically just have your figure seated comfortably inside. There you go. He's all nice and snug. He's all set. Now, the Shadow Raider features multiple weapon platforms that interact with the magnets on the figure's boots. So there's several places around the vehicle that can accommodate figures. Quite a number of them, actually. Like the weapons rack on the back. Yeah, so you could have him just blasting the enemy from the rear. Pow, 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 pow. Or you could also have him placed on the platform that hooks up to the long turret cannon. Now, the turret cannon has handles on the sides which can fit into the figure's hands. Yeah. And you can just have him just standing there, rotating about and blasting stuff all around him. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, pow. You know what? Just fit this guy out with a couple more bad guys, and the Shadow Raider is going to be this unstoppable force of death and destruction. Now, the other thing that's really great about the Shadow Raider is that it also has this sort of a cool walker mode. Kind of like an AT-AT, like the one in Empire Strikes Back. Now, you can fold down the tank traits to form these sort of legs that can be rolled about in battle. In fact, which also gives it a higher range of combat. Now, the rolling isn't exactly very smooth, but it gets the job done. Okay, one of the other great things about this mode is that it can also pick up cargo and smaller vehicles that are along the way. Now, this is thanks to this magnet that's at the bottom right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to test out this function. All right, I'm going to test it out right now. Okay, so we've got the Shadow Invader right here. Now let's watch as the Shadow Raider rolls up and scoops this guy up. See that? Now that was smooth. Okay, now so the other thing that I wanted to point out is that the magnet on this guy is freaking tough. Okay? Look how firmly the Invader is clinging on. It's amazing. Okay, to disengage the vehicle, all you gotta do is just flip up this lever that's located at the side here, and check this out. Boom! Yeah, it's off and deployed into battle. Now, the Shadow Raider also works great when it comes to capturing enemy targets, like this stranded laser rat right here, who's all alone. Hey Vic, you hear that, man? Like that rumbling sound? What? Say what? The only rumbling I hear is the rumbling that's in my tummy, man. I'm so hungry. No, man, I'm serious, man. You don't hear that? It's like this the ground's moving, like this is rumble. You don't hear that, man? Come on, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Come on, we gotta get out of here. Come on, what the hell is that? No! It's gonna suck us up. No! No! It's got us. No, no. Yeah, so so that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Now let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what you thought of Starcom. Are you a fan? Did you collect them when you were growing up? Are you collecting them now? Sound off in the comments. And thanks for joining me. Okay, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys again real soon.